I'm Jason. This is my sketchy friend Rob. He's becoming one with the Force, or he accidentally hit his dad, and now his dad and his mom won't meet, and he is being erased from time.
Look, I'm trying to move back to the 90s. You know, and I'm not saying everything was perfect, but it was just not fucked up enough to where you could still be hopeful that things will get better. Because my hope for the future at this point is minuscule.
If you want to know about about a little gig I had, I had two sort of side jobs around this time in elementary school, and one of them was drawing the picture from Cool World behind you naked and selling that for about 50 cents. And then the other was I got the Game Boy the first day it came out, and if you wanted to play Super Mario World, I'd go in the bathroom. And you'd also give me a quarter, and I would let you play Super Mario World until your game was over. I had a little arcade going in elementary school, and also sort of a cartoon pornography business. Yeah, that was. I had all of the Game Boy games though. At the time,
self-made kid.
What happened? Kid, what happened to that spirit? Now I got nothing.
What are you talking about? They're all just on YouTube. They're with us. Like, they're doing much better than us. We're like, hey, we got 400 views today.
we did it. Uh-oh. It's a presence I haven't felt since
last week.
How's it going?
Very good. How are you guys?
Good. I got a message saying that you rebooted your modem, and I said, well, if you rebooted your modem, you can be on this show, but if you haven't, don't you even dare.
I know, that's what I got. That's the message I got.
No,
and you told me to fuck off. Like, it doesn't work.
Yeah, I think the message I said was actually back off or jack off. I think that might have been what I said. Yeah. Yeah, I think it was something like that. But anyway.
Alrighty.
If you're wondering why I was doing this, I'm like, sexual innuendo joke, 3, 2, 1. I was off by 3 seconds. But
yeah,
it was that.
So shows what you know.
I didn't do that. He did it first.
Anyways, today I woke up, took a shower, had my coffee, went on the Star Wars Santa show, and Santa dropped some spoilers. You know what the Santa Claus said? Star Wars Santa Claus?
I was incontinent with spoilers.
He said it's Chris Breezy time.
Hey,
have a drink. He's all get wet because it's gonna be a wet one. How's it going, Chris?
Oh yeah,
a wet noodle.
Rob, did you do something?
No, so Star Wars.
Let's not talk about that right now.
Star Wars Santa had he had a little spoiler, and it was that at Celebration, Tales of the Jedi is going to have a panel on Friday, and the details of that show, whatever that project is, I should say, will be announced on the Friday of Celebration.
Oh,
yeah,
cool. That's
awesome. So I'm just. I don't really have a dog in the fight. Like I don't pride myself on predicting things correctly, unless it's like predicting and spoiling aren't the same thing to me. Mm-hmm. So I'm a little bit like, well, I just kind of Occam's razor it, and I just go, well, grammar rodeo is a thing in production, and that so maybe grammar rodeo is Tales of the Jedi.
So you're thinking it's live action now, Jason?
I never thought it was animated. I never thought it was live action. I don't actually know anything about it. I haven't heard anything about it. That's the one thing that makes me think it might be animated, is when things are animated, it's like a small group of people who are really like overseeing it here in the States, and then it goes over to a bunch of people who don't speak my language, who can't leak anything to me.
What language do they speak?
I don't know. Whatever CG speaks. I can't remember now. I don't remember. But yeah, it's animation is I almost said classically, but I guess classically now that is true, is that it's done overseas and usually in Asia. Yeah. And so I wouldn't be surprised if it is animated for that reason. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, if you guys want to predict what it is, by all means, go ahead and take a stab at it.
It's interesting because usually the trades report casting, and we haven't got any casting at all for grammar rodeo, whatever it's called.
Yeah, Grand Rodeo.
Yeah, that's the one. But we've got no casting from any trades, and makes me think, it's a bit confusing because usually they're on point with the castings, and they usually announce it before filming begins.
Well, because what usually happens though is you'll have a couple of finalists, and I recently heard a story out of the old Hollywood, and I think it was from Batman. I think it was from Batman. Somebody was a final contender to be Batman in that recent Batman film. They were the ones who leaked that Robert Pattinson was going to be Batman, hoping to kill him as his chances, trying to sabotage Robert Pattinson.
Army Hammer, and did he want to eat him?
No, he just ate. He ate the script and everything.
Too fun.
It was the Necromonicon Book of the Dead. It was written on that Book of the Dead. Stuff. He just chomped it like it was a big Hershey bar.
This guy's fucking creepy, man.
Shut the fuck up. That's so gross.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it's complicated though, because if Armie Hammer was going to actually eat somebody and murder somebody, well, but if that's his kink, what can he do? He didn't ask for it. I don't know. It's weird,
Wouldn't
right?
it be ironic if the arms were his favorite part? Like,
didn't we say that we had this conversation about cannibalism before, and I literally almost threw up?
Yeah.
Yes. And
I think
Jason promised that we wouldn't talk about it again.
But I'm just saying.
I didn't know.
I'm just saying, I don't know. What is the line on king shaming? I think it's pedophilia. I think after that, I mean, as long as you're not killing anybody, if somebody wants to let themselves be eaten by somebody else, by all means.
Yeah, if you just find a body lying on the side of the road, it's fair game.
I mean,
right?
I'll tell you this. Whenever I watch Empire Strikes Back and Luke gets his hand cut off, I don't go, but maybe he does. I don't know. I don't know what the rules are. But I will say, like, wouldn't that suck? Like, if that was your thing, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like, think about what your thing is, and then imagine it just, but instead it's like guts, wanting to eat them, But anyways,
well, just a quick note. I was coming back from the store, and there was a homeless guy. I guess he was, had to sign up asking for money, and he was, I think, a little off it. Yeah. And I heard him say,
"You heard him?"
No, well, he was yelling. He's like, "I ain't afraid of no ghosts," and then he said. He was telling everyone that they're fucking cowards because they won't help him or something. And I was like, oh my God, I just scurried along to get away from there.
Yeah, I feel.
But I thought, I was like, did he just say, I ain't afraid of no ghosts?
I ain't afraid of no ghosts. That's cool though. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I mean, if you're seeing some like shit that is there or isn't there, don't be afraid of it. Conquer it. You know, that's what I say.
The Friday panel, huh? Interesting.
But yeah, the old Friday panel trick. So and
live action. It's got me thinking live action. If it's a big panel dedicated to this one show, I'm thinking maybe you're onto something there, Jace. Maybe it is live action.
What?
Oh, his turn.
Just us. He'll be back.
I
don't have any spoilers. Hey, want to talk about Sonic?
Oh, now you want to talk about Sonic, huh?
Well, let's see. It'll make Jason come back.
The food place?
Ruining the show. There we go.
There he is.
I did the old force hand gesture that was back in the browser. It took me back. Yeah, I just wanted to move the cursor a little bit. anyways, so what's going against it being? What's against Grandpa Rodeo being Tales of the Jedi? Is and it was Bestman who told me that Pattinson and Holt's name thing.
Oh God, nothing.
Anyways, no, the snipers will never get me. They can't shoot at all. What's going against it? I feel like I said is the fact that there was what's in the side of Grandma Rodeo being animation is the fact that it was on the Lucasfilm gift.
Yeah.
But that, I propose the concept or the possibility that maybe it was supposed to have gone into production a long time ago, and the current, Obi-Wan Kenobi and Mando were using the volume, and maybe they couldn't get in there to start, and it got pushed into the rotation onto the back end of things, and then now here we are, and it was supposed to have already of been filming, or have gotten its show on the road, and it hadn't. So, but I don't. But once again, I don't know. It wouldn't surprise me. The only thing I'm going to bet, and you guys can tell me if you disagree with this or not,
I disagree.
is it's so Max believes wholeheartedly with all of her little black heart that I will someday devour like it's a I don't know, chicken breast. It's the old cartoon comic book, the old Tales of the Jedi comic book. I don't think it has anything to do with it. I think Tales of the Jedi is just too good of a title for them to overlook. And if you recall back in the day, there was a Star Wars Marvel Comics issue called The Last Jedi. And obviously that's different than a series, a little bit smaller, but we have seen titles become reused and over time. And the Star Wars naming conventions are pretty lame and weak. What they think, what they think of it, anyways. And so I wouldn't be surprised if this is just something completely new. And so, with that in mind, I think it could be Grammar Rodeo, but I don't know.
But the font's very similar, though, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's a pre-production logo, and that doesn't tell us. I don't think it tells us anything. It just says they went over to whatever their version of Repro Graphics is and said, "Hey, Stu, we need a logo," and and for all the notebooks and shit, and they just jumped on it because that one was already designed. Why? I mean, I could see that happening at the same time. Maybe they are animating some old version of a comic book into something or whatever, but I just wouldn't bet on it. There's just too many hoops to like jump through. And I don't we always go back to the Heir to the Empire thing. Yeah, if they announced Heir to the Empire, the whole internet would be like, yay, it's what I always wanted. But then in reality, they're going to change it, and then it's just going to be your new thing to bitch about for the rest of your internet life. So it's a no-win for them, I think, to step on their own toes and retread places they've already been.
Right.
So are we thinking that Stranger Things in space, the tweenie, the tweens?
Yeah.
Are we thinking that's Tales of the Jedi now?
Well, that's Grammar Rodeo, right? And so I say it's a possibility. If we're just going to Occam's razor this and say what is the simplest solution, that is the simplest solution. Doesn't mean it's right though. But yeah, I could see it going that way.
Interesting.
Yeah, and we should have some. So I kind of imagine that if it is going to be a panel at Celebration, I imagine there will be leaks before Celebration. Because once a panel goes into the works, word gets around behind the scenes. There's reasons for that.
And do you think that this has already been in production, or like they've started working on it, or do you think?
Well, if it's a volume based product, if Grammar, let's say Grammar Rodeo, if it's a volume based production, the visual effects are likely happening right now. Most of the background visual effects are happening right now. And so, yeah, it's a mixture of those two things. But obviously, with no live action elements having been shot yet, it's like not really anything yet at the same time.
And usually animation, they've already started on those, right? And they don't announce them until later. Because hasn't it been like that with the Bad Batch and...
Yes, and that's I think a solid checkbox for this being an animated production of some kind is the fact that nothing has come out from it. At the same time, there hasn't been any voice actors that have had anything come out, but we did have I think was it that show with Corey Convor Call had the music dudes on the Kiner Brothers, I think that's what they're called. And they said that they were scoring a whole thing. They were doing a whole orchestral thing for an animated show too. So there is another animated show. And our buddy Bestman says, isn't there an animated High Republic series in the world with Icon? Tales of the Jedi was Old Republic. Could be repurposed for High Republic. Yeah, it's possible. But like, if it doesn't come from me or from you for that matter, I don't know how serious to like take any of that shit. And most of the other people that have released stuff also tainted the viability of their information very close to that, with huge losses before and after that info, which means to me the info is just subject to fucking who knows. And I don't remember who released what or whatever, you know what I mean? It might have been that guy who does karate in the front yard for all I know. But with that in mind, watch out.
You know who you are.
Yeah, you know who you are. But
did Bespin say that it's filming in June? I
What's
think
that?
you reported that.
Who did?
Reported that it's filming in June, right?
Wait, Grammar Rodeo?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure he has it on the site. I'm sure it's on my site, and I'm sure it's through. No, we had the casting grids through Illuminati, and I think that's where that would have come from.
Yeah.
Once again, I don't mean to give credit where it's not due or to the wrong person or anything, but yeah. So we know that we know what the actors are being told and what the actors believe who will be cast in those roles. But looking at who they're casting for the most part, it's not necessarily people that are going to make, like, if it's Robert Downey Jr., then everybody's going to know it's Robert Downey Jr. because everybody's looking at paying attention to what he's doing next and what he's up to and where he goes to eat lunch. But if they're casting, Stu from Bancroft Middle School down the street, nobody's gonna know to care until that kid starts telling his buddies and his buddies start leaking or something like that. So for the most part, I don't think we're going to know who this cast is because it's probably going to be a bunch of unknowns and people in commercials and stuff, But Bestman says Grammar Rodeo are doing pre-production in Culver City and are taking over a stage in Long Beach in June for filming.
June.
So that I see like when I see that right there, though, I don't know of a volume in Long Beach. So when I see that tells me that's just for the actual physical stages and work and stuff like that. And it's probably still going to be reliant upon the volume to some extent, right? I mean, I'm guessing here, maybe, something must have been, but that's always been my assumption. Like we had Mando 3 filming in Long Beach, and that was for the outside stage work. And so when they weren't using El Segundo.
Or they built a volume just for Jesse James out there, right? West Coast volumes, right?
West Coast volumes. It's all like
it's all
old English. It looks like the Vice City. It's the Vice City of volumes, is what they call it.
Ever tell you about the time I met that dude? I went down there, had lunch with him.
Oh yeah,
I'll tell you about it someday. Yeah, it was an interesting day. Jesse James,
man.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, yeah, I remember. What was her name? Gita Von Teese.
Yeah,
Ewan McGregor really liked hanging out with her.
I bet.
Really liked hanging out with her.
I bet.
I don't blame him. Bestman, Manhattan Beach, not Long Beach. Yeah, I know. I'm from Long Beach, Bestman, in case you didn't know. I'm like literally in Long Beach right now. That's where I'm at. You're legally required to own Sublime CDs if you. I fucking hate Sublime. I fucking hate Sublime.
But it's part of the deal,
dude.
You know
fucking white kids going like, yeah, dude,
it.
Like a bunch of white kids talking about their fucking how they're a Sancho. No, you're not. You're a fucking white kid from Lakewood. You don't know what you're fucking talking about. And I'll tell you this too: if gangs in Long Beach, not as tough as gangs everywhere else.
If people want to know what Long Beach is really like, I'd say a good 50% of Grand Theft Auto San Andreas is pretty much Long Beach. If you get real familiar with driving around San Andreas, you're going to be very comfortable in Long Beach. You will not get lost.
Right.
It's true.
All right. Baymax is somebody who I listen to. Baymax is somebody's analysis I trust. And they are proposing, what if Tales of the Jedi is umbrella branding for a series of EA computer games, expanding over multimedia projects like Shadows of the Empire do, with Jedi Fallen Order having been the first part of it. Yeah, okay, I can see that. And I think that would also explain why it's so off the radar. So I would buy that. I would completely buy that as being being a strong potential and being a big reason why it would make the Lucasfilm gift that year and everything like that. So that seems like a solid what if to me. It's as good, if not better, than most of the what ifs that we've had so far today, in my opinion. So to be followed by Jedi, insert new game, and so on. Yeah, I do think we did sort of was it you, Bespin, who said that like Jedi Fallen Order was the first one, and then it was going to be like Star Wars Jedi Self Suck or something like that. I was going to have like some like second part Jedi, then Jedi Self Suck, Jedi Acrobat Rodeo montage of heck, something like that. I can't remember what you said, but Bespin says it films from June until December. Casting Grant said June.
I'm filming.
Yeah. Grammar Rodeo, not Tales of the Jedi. That's where
Okay.
yeah, we
don't know nothing about
Tales of the Jedi and Grammar Rodeo are most likely two separate things.
Two separate things.
Most likely, yes. But if we Occam's razor, what's the easiest most likely, not even the most likely, but what's the easiest thing? They're the same thing. But that's only because we don't have all the pieces of the puzzle. So we are yeah. Your guess is as good as mine. Santa says like and jingle. You better do it. You better like the video. You better subscribe to the channel. Or
It's what I tell all the ladies. Oh,
yeah. Or I'm not kidding. I will have Army Hammer crawl through the screen and bite your fucking face off right now.
Shut up.
He will fucking chomp.
Tragically,
I
three
really-
elves were
I
lost
really-
to Army Hammer. Oh no!
It doesn't take me. Well, I don't really get nauseated very often, but I don't know why that really.
Oh,
You
it
know why
literally
you
makes
get
me
nauseated at the
nauseate.
thought of people eating other people? You're normal,
disgusting.
Max. That's
Yeah,
why.
that is the
No, but
normal
it's
human reaction.
Yeah, but talking about it's making me
Okay.
nauseated. Like,
Then I just gotta say, I wanted
start
to make a joke about
if I
Army
start-
Hammer chomping your nose like it was a portobello mushroom. I gotta
Oh,
get it out.
no.
I gotta get it out. It's out. We can.
if
move
I
on.
start burping, you're in trouble.
Okay. But if you do throw up, it would be great. You did. Dummy. Oh, great. Dummy. What does Dummy gotta say? What's on Dummy's mind today? Dummy says Grammar Rodeo is live action High Republic. Tales of the Jedi, I think, is animated because the Kiners have been working on something big for a while now. Yeah, there's so much Star Wars going on now. There are so many little baby tidbits and strands of things that I got in the back of my brain that I know about that I can't place to any of the stuff. There's a lot more going on than what we know of. So
You know what it is? It's Book of Boba Fett 2.
it might be.
Yeah.
It might be.
It's inevitable.
I gotta say, Rob, remember that one time when a Lucasfilm source of mine said you were dumb about Robert Rodriguez?
Mhm.
They said, for better or worse, I'm right.
I didn't say they wouldn't eventually
know.
do it. I said they're not going to go out with everything. Not the celebration, folks. And if they do, it's not this. Whatever.
Yeah.
And if I'm wrong, fuck it. I could give two shits
It
less.
doesn't
I'm going to be
matter.
honest. If it's the same crew and
Yeah.
the trailers look exactly like the first book, but I'm not watching that shit the night of. You guys can stay up till 2 a.m. Like, I've tapped out on the Book of Boba Fett right now. I gave it the strongest. Like, I don't know why there's this weird contrarianism on the internet when something fails. Somehow, Rob, really, it was really good. You didn't get it. No, I got it. You know what I mean? Like, if you want to keep doing that, you will end up in, like, the Flash season 9 when it should have stopped around season 3. You know? Where they're doing really stupid CG running effects, right? Where they're like this.
Yeah, well,
You know?
it's like Army Hammer's right to want to, eat Gwyneth Paltrow's face. It's like that's his right. Everybody has a right to like what they like. And the internet seems to think that if they like something, then you don't get it. You know what I mean? It would, and it's like, no,
I would
it's
never push something on somebody if they don't like it. They
Right.
don't like it. They don't like it.
Right.
And then the more you push
And
it, and then they get pissed off. Why would you do that?
And there's so much other shit they could be doing that to waste production on trying to right the wrong. The only reason to do another Book of Boba Fett series is the Mace Windu thing. If they can't do that, then this is a colossal waste of resources. Like it's just an ego thing. No, really, it was good. You won't get. We'll fix it. No, you won't. It's not that great. It's just not.
Well,
without betraying.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't say I hate Flash, but Flash season 9 is fucking horrible compared to seasons 1 through 3. Like, and the visual effects got progressively worse and worse and worse and worse. It's just so it's the worst of television. This stuff, it's just bad.
Flash being them
it's not objectively bad.
Oh, sorry.
And if you love that shit, good fucking luck. You know, like no show should ever go 9 seasons, man. Like, was Cheers better around season 12? Did Married with Children get better after season 4? No, like
I was comfortable.
Like, this is ridiculous.
Is The Simpsons any good?
No,
it's thriving. It's thriving
for a long time.
Yeah.
How many seasons are they on?
I like the first 11 seasons of The Simpsons probably, and after that I'm like, okay, you know.
I stopped watching like in the 90s, I think.
Curb Your Enthusiasm might be the one exception to all of this, you know? Or Better Call Saul season 6, but look how long it took them to make all these things, you know?
I was messaging Baymax and I'm like, ELOs, Electric Light Orchestras, Last Train to London, that fucking bass line, that is another one bites the dust. I don't think it has anything on that bass line. I gotta say, I think he killed disco. I think he said disco's done. I did it. This is the bass now. Listen to that song if you guys haven't. Oh, fuck,
this is good? The floor, as they would say, like in real estate. It's not the ceiling, it's the floor.
The Crawling Chaos says, I really enjoyed the old Tales of the Jedi comics by Dark Horse. Yeah, I started reading it back in the day, and it just like it really wasn't for me. And a friend of mine told me like the whole story, and I could see how it definitely has like positive elements to it, you know. But
the covers were great. The art was good art, but the story is incomprehensible. You know,
at times,
especially the way it was presented. And it's one of those ideas where you're like, kind of almost felt like it should have been the first novel series or something. Because, you know, like an anthology novel series that jumps around different periods. But it was just, I mean, it's Braveheart Jedis in space.
It gave us, yeah. Well, I mean, it gave us, you know, it gave us double-bladed lightsabers. It gave us Onderon. You know, it gave us a lot of like, it made its contributions for sure. So I don't mean to like diminish it on that front, but at the same time,
name one character.
What's his? I remember back in the day, I got the Phantom Menace figures before people had seen
the
characters from the Phantom Menace, and I went on old Usenet and said, "Look what I got! Looky, I got Hooky," and I put him up there. And immediately, as the internet does, you would have thought I would have learned back in 1998 how the internet works and how people are stupid. But this guy, and I don't know how you say it, but his name was like Cisco Bass or Cisco Boss or some bullshit, whatever the character is from that story. I would not stop saying it was fake. And so I took the little figures and I wrote like, I had like Padme and Rick Olay and Jar Jar holding up little signs they wrote on matchbooks saying, I like to hump Cisco Bass's mom. Something like that. They were just all doing it. All these pictures. People wanted to see it from the back and the side. Every time I did it, I had a little sign saying, fuck that guy, because he wouldn't shut the fuck up. And anyways, where was I going with that? Oh yeah, that was the one character. That guy was named after one of those characters. And after that, I was like, fuck that comic book even more. So Jonathan Freon says, is it Free One? Freyon? I don't know. Freyone? Are you from Naboo? It would be such a wasted opportunity if they did announce something live action for the big screen. Come on, Lucasfilm, please deliver this time. Yeah, I do think Baymax probably has the best idea so far. I've heard, anyways, the best one that makes the most sense to me. But we will see. Bestman says Grammar Rodeo is a prequel focusing on the mods. Yeah, it is. It is.
Dare them to do it.
Yeah. I see, like
double dog.
Well, remember when Robert Rodriguez gave a guy a gun cock? Remember when he did that? Where was that Robert Rodriguez when he was making the mods for the Star Wars story? I mean, come on. You know, I would have also taken gun titties. I mean, you can do anything. There's so much you can do. Junkbox says kink shaming for Army Hammer. It is funny to say talk about that.
Kink
JJ story. Baymax says, I want a plushie Grogu on the Seaside Claw Machine today. And I also won hardback copies of the complete Heir to the Empire trilogy for less than $20. I'm on a roll. There you go.
Sure, this isn't Timothy Zahn we're talking to.
Somebody said Army
Jesus.
Hammer.
Was
You
that?
know what we said? Portobello mushroom nose.
Gross.
Rob hates the Flash. I got a video to send him. I'm with you. I just have a stupid
Frank
video to
Gustin's
send.
dick. I'm like, well, there you go. Now I'm in. Now I'm on board. Thanks, Bestman.
Bestman says, Rob, just looking to have a go at me. Fight me, bro.
He's so angry.
Yeah.
He's so angry.
He must come from that part of Britain where they go, oi, oi, right? And just like tabletop, you know, just like they riot when soccer doesn't go their way.
Yeah, he's actually a quote football hooligan. That's what they call him.
Yeah.
A fruit ball?
A football.
Oh,
He's
football.
from Wales, bro. They got, you know,
Yeah.
King Arthur. You know,
He's fucking Willow.
We don't know, Chris. Explain it to us.
Well, I'm telling you, he's from Wales.
He's from
So-
Willow.
Oh, that's what.
Willow
Oh,
Town.
like Christian Bale, right? Bloody fucking dumb, right? Yeah.
Christian Bale.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's on
All
camera.
Oh, wait, hold on. Crawling Chaos says, problem is that the internet somehow made tons of people think it's either amazing or total shit. Sometimes things are merely average. Yeah, I think it's
Yeah,
like
that's fair
sometimes
take.
you connect with something and it doesn't have to be good, or it doesn't have to be good according to mainstream standards. Like when it comes to music, I think if most of the music I like that I really truly enjoy would probably give a lot of you a headache. You know, it just would not be your thing, and that's fine. But most people are coming at things like from this comic book angle, and they just think like if everybody knew about this, everybody would love it. But it's like no, especially whenever you're coming from like Star Wars is so basic. It's really the base. Star Wars and Marvel it's the most basic bitch thing you can like in terms of film. You know, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Sometimes things are basic because they are flat out archetypically solid and good. But when that is your everything and you don't get outside of that, then you just don't see. You think that if everybody saw what you saw, they would like it. But I will say as a retort, I think that to Rob and Book of Boba, I do think mainly agree about that series overall. But I think that there's nowhere to go but up. I don't think it'll go. I doubt it will keep going down because no, Rob. If they come, if
a lot of
they bring
people
back-
said that after the Phantom Menace, my friend. Like,
nah, it's not.
a lot of people
no,
said
it's
that
not.
after the phases.
George Lucas.
I said that after the Phantom Menace.
George
like,
Lucas's stubbornness and hubris doesn't at play here. I mean, it's completely like the people internally at Lucasfilm know it sucked. Like I have heard it sucked from more Lucasfilm people than said the opposite. And when that's the vibe, I mean, it would really require Jon Favreau to be like, no. And it just doesn't strike me as a very stubborn dude. And everything that he's ever done, it's just like I think this was him testing how far he can take things outside of the parameters that he saw being set. I think he tested the waters, and I think hopefully learned a lesson. The only way it will continue to go on that path is if he just continued writing and never looked back. And they're like, we can't revise. I don't know. We just can't do it. We wrote this and we don't do a second. But as we saw with other things like Kenobi, they will revise. But
this is why, like, either it needs to be handed off to someone who has a take, which I've said since the beginning.
Yeah.
I don't think Robert Rodriguez had a take. I think he's like, I like Boba, I like Star Wars, I'll make whatever you write. That's the sense I get. And he made whatever they wrote. But if Jon Favreau is literally running Grammar Rodeo or putting all of his efforts into a show, was he going to be writing Boba Fett, on Sunday? You know, like with his morning coffee. Enter scene, Boba, with respect. Oh, writes itself. Money, money, money. Like, just give it a break, bro. No one's asking for it to come back in 12 months.
I mean,
just chill.
The thing about the writing, I'm curious about. There's a lot of stuff I'm curious about in terms of the writing of like Mandalorian. Is Favreau truly the only writer? Like I've never, you know, I'm sure there's clearly a peer review process that happens at Lucasfilm. That is one of the elements of the Lucasfilm story group. They act like a writers group. If you've ever been a part of anything like that, you know, you get together, you read your piece, everybody gives their feedback. There's always that one asshole. There's always that one person who likes everything. And then you kind of like, you know, you play around with it, but we don't really know how he goes about things. No one ever asked him any good questions. Hey, you're chef. Oh boy. You know, they just always softball every single question to him. They never ask like the real stuff about the process. And I mean, these scripts are, what do you guys think? 40 to 65 pages long on average, I would say.
If that, because there's a lot of visuals. It might be 30 to 35, depending on the episode. You know,
yeah. So how long is it taking him to? I mean, you can do that in a weekend if you really wanted to. Not that you should, but you could. And it does feel like Boba was done on a weekend, a couple of weekends, and then it was never revised past that.
Seriously, man.
Yeah. So here's the other part I wanted to put into the show is this. And Bespin, if you're here, I want to be real mean to you right now. I love you, but I want to be mean to you. Oh, let me get rid of this comment. It's a good comment though. It's a good comment.
Season 3 coming in summer. This is what we're going to talk about.
Oh, great! Now we don't even need to show it. Now we don't even need because Chris had to spoil it. Oh, now I know how Lucasfilm feels. I'm never going to spoil again because of you. I'm kidding.
What did he
That's
say?
the biggest load of garbage I've heard all week.
Here we go.
My children, the whole family, get more Mandalorian.
You'll get it soon. You'll get it soon. I've got a few things to do in regard to that, to put some finishing touches on what I do.
Okay.
But I believe it'll be sometime this summer. No date set yet, but coming soon.
Okay. How?
He says he believes.
Well, it's not even that though. Is that it? I mean, there's like I was saying on Santa Show this morning. There's 3 ways you can take it. Number 1, which is not possible, it's coming this summer. They just they just finished filming like in the last like week or so.
No.
That doesn't make sense. It doesn't add up. But he also says he has work to do still. So I think so he could be saying he could be saying I'm going to do that work over the summer.
Could be.
Or he could be saying and then he goes on to say the announcement is going to come. And so he may be saying the announcement is coming over the summer, which is, I think, what he actually means as opposed to what he actually said. And I think that there's a big difference.
My children, the whole family, get more Mandalorian.
You'll get it soon. You'll get it soon. I've got a few things to do in regard to that, to put some finishing touches on what I do.
Okay.
But I believe it'll be sometime this summer. No date set yet, but coming soon.
Okay. How?
See, I think he's saying, I personally believe he means the announcement is coming this summer, and he's basically because of Celebration. Yeah. I think he probably like loosely knows what it is. He knows it's like a thing, but he probably doesn't really give a deep fuck about it.
Or maybe he forgot what season he's in or what month he's in.
I think he knows. I don't think he's fucking partying or anything. No, but yeah, but this has been like, I woke up because of fucking Bespin Bulletin to like 15 fucking messages going, dude, is this happening? Is this really going down right now? Is this happening? Is it's like, what month is it? Oh, it's April. Yeah. They're gonna do all the visual effects in 2 months. Get ready for a June 15th release of Mandalorian. You heard it here first.
I mean, people say
that's
things in error.
Ridiculous.
So I don't.
Yeah,
I wouldn't say.
It's a CWA, man. It's possible.
What's CWA?
Get...
Caw.
Way. The way.
The way. But yeah. I don't think it's possible that it's coming out in June.
No, it's
or
gonna
July
be at
or
the
August.
end of the year.
Judging by previous.
It's too fast.
Come on, bro.
It's the same time schedule they've had for every show.
No, is Mohawk
Yeah.
making a ruckus? Him and his brother are kind of fighting on and off.
Yeah, we saw the production pretty much go exactly the same as it has always gone. And the earliest we ever saw it release was October, and the latest we got it in December, right? We did get it December. So season 2 was December, I think.
It was
Or was it November?
October 30th.
Okay, November 30th.
October 30th.
October 30th. So I just don't see how that would make any sense. And we also have Kenobi and Cassian.
And all, yeah.
I mean, yeah. So it's like that doesn't really make any sense unless, which isn't happening, unless they're going to show like one episode or do a little mini movie event in between now and then. And then that's the only thing I could think that would make any sense. And I don't think that's the case.
Yeah, well, production usually finishes in around late March, and then we got a 7-month window for previews and all that. And we usually get it late October. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
7 months, and I
Hey,
still
best-
think we'll be around probably late November, December this year.
Talking to one of my friends, and they never saw Pedro really the whole time.
Yeah.
Well, he's been too busy hanging out with Ridley.
I don't blame him. I don't blame him one bit.
For our next exercise, I would like you to enter me for 30 thrusts. Let's do that 10 times. And continue until I say we're done.
She hasn't said she's done. So that's why he wasn't there the whole time.
He's filming The Last of Us, so he's kind of knew that he was.
I don't know. We were hearing stuff about what he was doing on The Last of Us. He had a pretty big break, and he wasn't showing up to Mando on that break. So I don't know, man. No, I'm not saying he's dead or anything like that. I'm just saying I think John Wayne's son is gonna get a bonus this year.
Well, I mean, I guess it makes sense because he got expelled or whatever from being a Mandalorian because he showed his helmet.
Pedro Pascal?
Or his face, yeah. So I could understand why. What? What's
Pedro
so
himself?
funny?
Yeah.
Huh? Yeah. I could see why he's not there.
No, but I mean, but it should be it would most likely be the opposite.
Why?
He gets expelled as being a Mandalorian. He doesn't have to wear the fucking helmet. Then we don't see his face again. It's like, what is this? This is the exact opposite. He doesn't have to wear the helmet anymore. He could take it off and he could have a kiss.
But I thought
He
he's
could smooch.
atoning. He
could smooch. Well, yeah, at the end he goes down to the mines, but I mean, I guess maybe he's just trying to prove he's the real deal. I mean, obviously there will be some kind of in-universe explanation. But I mean, if anything, you would think this would be the season where it's all Pascal all the time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's not. At least as far as what I know.
But now I'm getting kind of worried now, Jason, because you're saying this, and now you're saying, the ceremonial thing, he wasn't there, and I'm worried if they're going to kill him off, actually, to be honest with you. Like, I'm actually worried, and from what you've told us that he hasn't been on set, and he wasn't in, some crucial scenes in the final of season 3. Now
he is there. He is in the end stuff. Yeah, he is in it, but I don't know. For instance, like when on the ceremony that I reported of, is that for him, or is it for what's her name? I don't know. Like that's the kind of stuff. I mean, it's a bunch of mumbo jumbo, people clinking bracers together and shit, and it's like, so it doesn't. It's all of the significance made up. I know. I hear you, spoiler kitty.
No,
but they're not ready for that yet. They're not ready for that yet. Yes. Yeah, you are correct. They do. I already reported what you said about them clicking. Yeah. God, okay. I understand.
I'll be right back.
No.
They're gonna start fighting. They're gonna start fighting.
Oh, they're gonna start fighting.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
yeah.
Go ahead.
I'll be.
Okay. What the kitty was actually saying is that Max isn't immortal. And when Max goes, the cats are going to eat her. Army Hammer style.
Actually, I heard those cats are from Wales.
I heard those cats are actually me. Okay. Wait. Okay. So Baymax says the only reason to do another Book of Boba Fett and for them to announce it at Celebration is that Meg could come on the show and shot on Rob for 5-minute muted Rob victory lap. Yeah, that is the deal.
Yeah. Look, I love Meg, but the Crimson Dawn will definitely be in Book of Boba Fett. Take was
fighting
some,
words.
you lose some.
Fighting words.
You know, it happens.
What ELO light funky ones? They're Sublime Light. That's not Sublime Light. That's not that's appropriate white boy funk, I say. But yeah, white boy funk does get pretty embarrassing to me though. It really does.
How's that not a DJ name at this point?
White boy funk?
Yeah, it just sounds like that should be a guy.
Yeah, because it's too self-deprecating. You know, white boys who want to act like they got funk, they want the clout that comes with it. Hence a big Sublime style tattoo on their back, you know.
All right.
Baymax and no joke, you know, look at me. I don't have many. There's not many rules for me. If you're an attractive person, it's probably on. That said, if you got a Sublime shirt on in your dating profile, I will swipe the other way. I will. It's a deal breaker. I'm serious. It's dumb, but it's the truth. Cisco Bass. Yeah, here we go. Jonathan. It's Frione. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're from Naboo, Frione. Says Wells is shit, mate. Don't come here. I don't know. I mean, it sounds like it's pretty cool if you're in Willow. Don't come here unless it's to fight me. I think that's for you, Rob.
Then again, Willow's been delayed, so we don't know.
They do call Bespin the brother of dragons. All right. Here we go.
It's a Brutha.
Brother. Baymax says, we had to endure Attack of the Clones to get Revenge of the Sith. Maybe Book of Boba Fett season 1 will pay off with the second, third season that slap. Yeah, I really, really do think I won't harp on it too long. I don't like to we focus on the negative sometimes too much. I don't want to focus on the negative too much. But I will say I do think that they left so much room for Robert Rodriguez to make things cool. There were problems. I think that they just left for him to solve. And he was just like, yeah, I'm going to film that and, you know, and get it done. And
like, do this.
Yeah.
Make it work.
So Star Wars Santa says, as I discussed with Jason, Rodriguez was shooting for a King Conan vibe, but I don't think he achieved the mark in the flashbacks. And the current time
at all.
Well, yeah, we talked about why. And the why is that in terms of the structure of King Conan, he is I haven't read that stuff since like the 80s, but I believe he was a bit rapey in those, if I remember right. Am I remembering that?
He was a bad guy.
He was a very bad man. And now he's a king who wants to rule with respect, and he's matured. He's grown a lot. He doesn't want to be a barbarian. But so what it allowed you to do, I don't mean to say that rape is fun. I don't mean to, but the barbarism part of it is fun. That's why you read a Conan comic, is you want to see barbarism. And and that's not cutting your hair. That's like cutting off people's heads and shit. And so what it allowed them to do was to show a character who's moral, where you go with them on these immoral things, knowing that they do become moral. So it's kind of like a pass to be an ass. It's an ass pass. But you end up with in Boba Fett it's not 20 years ago. It's 6 weeks ago. It's what were you doing last Tuesday? And that's literally as fucking dumb. That's a dumb way to do. Remember last week? Oh boy, do I ever. Then Urkel comes in, you know.
Such a dumb take.
It's a dumb take, yeah.
Yeah, the whole thing was just a dumb take. It sounded really interesting at the bar they were all at that night when they had cerveza and tacos, and it sounded cool. But the reality of that is that or hear me out. We could have just made a show where fucking a lot of kick-ass action happened, featuring a guy in fucking cool Mando armor. You know what I mean? And everyone was blown away by the fucking fights and shit. And that's that. That we could have done that too.
Yeah, I mean, like it really it does have a lot of the, like, in that first episode, you can see all of the flaws that are in the series that he did of Mando, but there's so many good moments. You go, maybe I just don't like the way it looks. Maybe I just don't like the set. Maybe that's not for me. But look at the action; it was great. But yeah, he really peaked in the very first episode of The Mandalorian that he ever did, unfortunately. Santa dropping the analysis. And Santa says, the current timeline, King Conan, was on point, but the flashbacks to Conan the Barbarian weren't matched. In the book of Boba Fett.
Your mic, buddy.
Can't hear.
You can't hear me
Your
at
mic.
all?
Cool. There you go. Well,
Girl,
it's even worse now.
It sounds faint.
Conan the Barbarian! That'll teach you.
Yeah, make sure you're getting that THX 1138 all dialed in, just like Don Chino taught us.
Wake up! It's Star Wars Santa analysis time. The current timeline, King Conan, was on point, but the flashbacks to Conan the Barbarian weren't matched in the book of Boba Fett. We didn't get Boba the Barbarian. We didn't. We got
Boba Fett should have been the heavy metal magazine version of fucking Star Wars. You know, even with an animated flashback where it could have been Daniel Logan doing the voice or some shit. Like it should have been something where he's got battle axes and fucking metal, and there's fucking the mythosaur shows are riding the Rancors, fucking tearing dudes up. I mean, seriously, like the old badass, the warrior that will not fucking die, right? Like you just can't kill him and he won't give up. Like instead we got a I mean, come on, man. Like, what the fuck is that?
He should have been with like Ula and Rystel and that Grieta Green Grodian chick in bed all at the same time. And then he should have got up and said, "You want a glass of water?" And they would have said, "Yeah." And then you would pan back over and he would be rocket packing out. Never to come back. It would be there's so many cool things he could have been doing.
Like Fennec Shan comes in the morning and Boba's just sitting there and he's got Sice Noodles over here and he's got fucking Max Rebo over here. You know what I mean? They just had a wild threesome that fucking night.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
crazy,
we could have had Max Rebo pegging Boba Fett over the keyboard, but we didn't. Why not? Don't geek shame. Baymax said Giancarlo is just excited to talk about it. He's hyping it up. Yeah, I agree.
He's talking shit.
In my article, I said late this year, straight cap. Yeah, he did. But everybody only reads the first line of the first part, and then now, I know I read your article, but yeah, it was really dumb. It was really dumb how some people rode with it, and it just sucks because ultimately all that it really does is make people disappointed, and you know, there is sort of Bespin does not do this, but you will see people like for instance, I will write an article and some of the bigger YouTubers will go take my article, read it on Bespin Bulletin site. That way they could misunderstand it even further, but then use that as an angle to generate, I don't know about this, you know, and then so when they announce, I bet you, wait for it. I thought we were getting it this summer. That'll be the thing when they announce it's in October or December or November or whatever your mom's doing.
It's gonna be the same time of year it's been the last two seasons, right? Mm-hmm. It's gonna run right up to it'll end right before Avatar 2 starts, and then that just like they used to do with the Star Wars movies. It's gonna end right before what's changed? Nothing's changed about this. Like
why would you think anything has changed? You know what I mean?
Right.
It makes no sense.
It's worked. It works. The production set up that way. Their coffee. They get their coffee the same time every day.
Yeah,
know? Like they got their Nims cheesecake at the same time every day. You know, like it's all the same.
Crawling Chaos likes Dominatrix Ray, and as a man of the people, I give the people what they want.
I'm horny. Who cares?
That was for you, buddy. That was for you. So Bespin says the man had a break from mid-December until late March. I've been saying to you for ages too that he's never been on set. Yeah. That's what I was saying. I was like, Bespin, did you ever get it? And apparently not. So, oh man, yeah. What does that mean? Is it important? I actually don't think it's important, because I think at the end of the day, even if we do see his face, he is still truly mostly a voice actor, in it, and that's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing bad about that. I don't think like, for me personally, James Earl Jones is Darth Vader. That's who's Darth Vader in the costume for me. I don't really care if it's Bob Anderson or David Prowse or your mama, your daddy, or your bald-headed granny. It doesn't matter to me. But
Yeah.
Also, you can sing that to the Imperial March at your kids if you want to. If you are playing Lego Star Wars and the Imperial March, you could definitely sing your mama, your daddy, your bald-headed granny. You could do it to almost all of it. It works.
Yeah.
So yeah. Emitora Strom, how's it going? Emitora? Will it be about Luke Skywalker's New Jedi Order? That would be fun, but we haven't had any indications of that. Will tell the Jedi be about Luke Skywalker's New Jedi Order. Yeah, I don't think so. It would be great. I wish I could tell you they were
Makes the
doing
most
something
sense
like that,
for that name, honestly.
since he's the Last Jedi and the Return
And there'd
of
be
the
other Jedi. You could follow the kids or the different people running around. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the most sense is it's an anthology series, but they have visions for that, right? I guess.
Right.
But I don't know.
I want another one of
Tales
those.
of some Jedi, maybe. It doesn't have the same ring to it, though, does it?
I asked. By the way, I tried to do a follow up on the Jude Law stuff. Did not get anything positive back about it. It doesn't mean it's wrong or it's right. But there was a rumor that Jude Law was cast in Star Wars, and the assumption was it was for the adult role in Grammar Rodeo, which is sort of like the what's the guy who plays Ant-Man? What's his name?
Paul Rudd.
It was sort of like the Paul Rudd role in Ghostbusters from the sound of the casting grid, and didn't get anything back about that. No one said, I don't know, I guess maybe, but I haven't heard anything about that.
Have you heard anything about? Go ahead. Sorry.
No. The only thing that I got was that they have done concept art for with him as an actor in concept art for Star Wars before. But that has nothing to do with anything at all. That just has to do with Rob got the gig and Rob felt like drawing Jude Law as whatever the part was that he was in. And by the time you see it, it'll be changed. Yeah.
Have you heard anything about if they're gonna have a second season of Visions?
Mm-mm. There was some like official thing that they were interested in it, that they wanted to do it, but also once again, animation is one of those things. And Visions was one of those things that it takes a long time, but it's a bunch of non-English speakers who are doing it, and they don't read Making Star Wars. They don't know who I am to leak anything to me.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. And it takes a while too. Even those small bits,
Yeah.
Like it take unless it was already in the pipeline, could be another 2 years.
And to be honest with you, I think it was already.
I thought it was because
well, the way that they were talking about it, they definitely seemed like they wanted it to be. I know Kathleen, like Kathleen Kennedy seems, when you look up the films that she's done, what her passion projects have been in the past, there's a lot of anime in there. So she's clearly like an anime nerd. Like, we don't really know shit about Kathleen Kennedy. She doesn't really do interviews. She doesn't really talk about herself. Like there's no, I wish there was, I wish I could be like, here's some analysis on Kathleen Kennedy. She loves anime. That's pretty much all I could say. Is she appears to, because she does she's done anime films when she's already been, and it's not like she does anime on her way up to doing live action in terms of looking at things from that perspective. She was like, she's like, I did Indiana Jones, E.T., Back to the Future, and I'm doing anime, because she wants to. But I think it mostly had to do with maybe like bringing Japanese pictures to America. So I'm not even sure what that really entails, but
yeah, because I remember them showing like footage of I guess like behind the scenes, and they had been working during the pandemic, the studios, and I think it was like in 2020 when they were working on. So I don't know, whatever.
Crawling Chaos for Arnie, and I thought he was saying Army Hammer. I wanted King Conan with Army Hammer. Colin Chaos says, I wanted a King Conan movie with Arnie being old Conan sitting on the. It's supposed to be Conan, but I grew up watching Conan O'Brien, and he was always like, "It's not Conan, it's Conan." So I wanted a King Conan movie with Arnie being old Conan sitting on the throne, telling stories about his adventures when he was young. Then Jason Momoa could play young Conan. Yeah, I mean,
the great narrator Arnold Schwarzenegger. Can't wait. Yeah.
It would be funny. He's like, now I am old. I am Conan the Barbarian, and then you go back, and then it's Jason Momoa going, "Hey, what's up? How's it going? Yeah, I got hit in the head, and my personality changed. Now I can play the piano."
All these things sound great in theory until you actually really put it together, and you're like, yeah, it's a lot of money and a lot of stuff to get an idea across. That I get taking clips from the movies and putting it over footage of another movie, and it kind of works there. But the reality is, it can come across pretty goofy.
Yeah,
if that's the problem, man. They don't even know what they got sometimes after they shoot it. They wrote a script, they storyboarded, they shot it. You would think, oh, that we know what the movie is. Then they put it together, and Lucas is like, "Oh shit!" I didn't know it played like that. It's so weird.
Well, I do think that happens on most productions. I think everybody.
Yeah, because you could do that, and if that was done with the limp dick fucking tone of Boba Fett, it would be just as dumb as anything else. There's tone, there's atmosphere, mood, there's pacing. In a 2-hour film, you don't know if that'll work, or 90-minute movie or series.
If you're gonna do it, CGI Arnold. They did it in Terminator. It looked great. It's only gonna get better. He doesn't look like a real person anyway. He looks like a fucking like a synthetic human in the first place, which is why he's a Terminator.
That's why he played a robot, Jason.
Yeah, and so it's like just get Arnold and to do it. But the truth is that I almost feel like if you were to do a King Conan story, in terms of the actual product, you have to actually be truly almost anti-PC. You can't do it for PC audiences. It just does. It is literally the antithesis of it.
So, the weakest you could go is Game of Thrones. No. The weakest I'm saying that you can go on that show is Game of Thrones. That would be the floor. It needed to go up from there. Yeah.
Antithesis. Or get what's his name? What's her name? Get Captain Phasma to be his daughter. That'd be pretty badass.
That'll go real well.
Yeah, she's badass though.
Sure.
Jonathan says that Wells is
but
nice.
That they'll be they're replacing Conan with a woman. You'll never fucking hear the end of this. It's 3 years of this shit.
Well, that's the amazing thing about our population is 50% of us got vaginas. 50% of us got wieners. So there's a 50%
of us are on the internet ruining all of our good time.
it's a great grift because there's a 50% chance you're going to get to run the grift every time. If you think about it, you know what I mean?
This is like the Sex Panther of fucking economics.
I know what you did last season of Mando.
I know what you did last summer.
I know what you did last season. Mando season 3, the musical live. Yeah, that's what Santa was saying today.
God.
Mando live.
We'll get Joss Whedon to write it. That'll be great.
Yeah. Hey man, you need a director who's gonna fuck with your head. Otherwise, you get Book of Boba Fett. Imagine if Joss Whedon was in there. Now, actually, I don't know anything about that, so I don't want to get into it. I'm probably gonna make somebody.
Yeah, let's not. But there's a stigma. How about that?
Okay.
Actually, the interview he did is telling because that's his own words.
Oh, yeah.
That's the one you got to read, bro. That is a wild interview.
I'll be honest with you. I think pretty much everything he's ever done has been stupid. So it really doesn't surprise me. And it doesn't surprise me.
I know.
Yeah, it really doesn't.
I it figured out all along.
I have. The Avengers is a shit movie. Just because you like all the characters in it doesn't make it good.
All right.
Just because you got George Harrison on guitar, you got Dave Grohl on drums, and you know what I mean? And you got Jimmy Page fucking playing the solo.
Give it to right here.
And it doesn't make it good.
I'm here for just
all right. This is where wrestling comes in.
Yeah, wrestling would be better. Oh, wait, I know what you're asking for. You're asking us for the Shockmaster.
I told you. Oh God.
I love that.
Classic, yeah.
So good.
I think it's because it wasn't what people had in their heads for these years. It wasn't that
No,
it circumvented my expectations. It was that it literally it just like I
it's the show.
menace
It's what it's presenting.
which really was not what people were expecting. I love it. When you do what people don't expect, I'm all about that. Actually, in this instance, though, you did what people didn't expect, and it was like, why did you do that? You know,
It's what they did. We don't much care for. That's it.
But Baymax says tonight on Nerd Theory, two guys dissect one guy's story rewritten on another guy's website, not naming the guy who wrote it, then bitching about it or claiming they heard that too from their guy. Yeah.
Do they do
you
that?
win the post of the day. That's the
Yeah.
post of the day.
They do that?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
thought you were.
They do that, but they get about 3K in the
Yeah. Not knocking the hustle on that point. I'll take if I like I said, you got a Lambo. I'm proud of you. If I just get a fucking Prius, I'll suck all your dicks for a Prius. You know, let's fucking do. I'll do the spoilers, hand jobs. You got my ass for a Prius right now. But in the end, it's peanuts.
Tiny Lister shows up. I'm back from the dead. What? And I got a Prius. No, Tiny, don't do it.
Yeah, I find the psychology of that show interesting too, because people are like, "Here's $20," and the guy will be like, "I don't know." I'm like, whereas like I need to start negging you guys because like you guys like, here's $20. I need to be like, sounds good, maybe Revenge of the Sith. I know Darth Vader, you know, something like that. But once again, not knocking the grift, but yeah.
Oh shit.
And that's the Star Wars fandom. Up is down, down is up. Yes means no, no means yes, and you can't do anything right unless if you're doing it wrong, you're doing it right. So
man. That's
yeah, it's weird. It's weird. It's a weird world, isn't it? But yeah, it's like I don't know. I'm just like of the opinion that if Josh is going to report on my story or he's going to report on Bestman Bulletin story, he should use Bestman Bulletin or Making Star Wars. You should use the primary source every time. Just because you don't like the look of the site, fine then. Don't show the site. That's fine. Copy and paste the text. I don't care.
Does he do that like all the time? Because I think I've heard him say it.
Yeah, I don't think Josh knows how to use an ad blocker. And he
think
doesn't like the ads on the site, so he doesn't know how to use an ad blocker. So he goes, I don't know. It's really, really.
they gotta credit you at least. I mean, if they're using your materials,
Josh does, but it's like I almost think that what he's trying to do is he's trying to play the roundabout thing. Like, oh no, some people don't like him because a girl with 11 personalities said he was a bad guy. And he wants to play that fucking game. And then he knows it's bullshit, but I think he's just trying to play both sides. Just fucking pick the truth. But then anyways, but like they were covering my story on what was it? Was it it was about the post-credits scene. And like I literally answer all of their questions in there, but they just reported on what Bespin wrote about it, and Bespin didn't just copy and paste my article. So it's like what I put in the article, what I put in my articles is very purposely done.
So someone pays like $100 chat and says, "You got this from MSW and Bespin Bulletin."
Oh, one time I don't watch the show because it's like 12 hours long, and then it's like, and then what do I want to watch two people like interpret what I wrote incorrectly? You know, it's just not really like worth it. And then they actually invited me to come on the show, or Josh did. I said, yeah, let's do it. And then I think he got scared. So I was even going to bring a spoiler to his show, but
so
once again,
you're going to bring Scoop to his show and then never heard from him again.
Then never heard from him again. And then instead he, and then eventually like whatever I say is something he heard too. But you know, it's
Some
that's
people
the
are
world that we
saying.
live in. You know, oh yeah, I'm hearing that there's going to be 13 Jedis in the whole thing. You know, but I don't know. It's fucking YouTube, man. It's fucking
Yeah,
YouTube.
I hear it all the time. Oh shit, spoilers. Hold on. Get down.
Yeah.
Book of Boba Fett's not at Celebration.
But I mean,
Sorry.
hey, if Josh ever wants to have
What?
me on or wants to come on this show, he is invited. It's an open invite. Anybody who's a content creator is invited. I don't care. But at the same time, it is candy ass to report my stuff from a secondhand source. And he does have he does say it's from me. He does give that. So he will say that, but that doesn't help me whatsoever. I could see where all of the clicks to the site come from. It doesn't help whatsoever.
Yeah.
So fence sitting means you get super chats from all the nerds sipping from the pot you're stirring. I know it is true. It's like, yeah, so here I think they should make Heir to the Empire. I think that they should put Darth Vader in it. I think that Obi-Wan Kenobi shouldn't leave Tatooine. Like, basically, you need to take the most limited imaginative view and then really hold on to that really hard. And it works, but
You should be running everything, man. Your ideas are gold. Everything would work. We would love everything you did. I guarantee if you did one fucking thing, they'd hate it. Like the reality got through to production, they'd fucking hate it.
Sure.
You know? Like, that's just... And I'll just say this. If you ever want to know what it's like to turn something in and get approval creatively, just go sign up to Fiverr and agree to make something for somebody. Just watch what they do. And it's like, I want just a simple logo typed in Comic Sans. I'll hate whatever you do. There'll be fucking notes. It'll go over. Now, just imagine all that with millions of fucking dollars and a marketing department and ego fucking maniacal producers. And then you're also reacting to what you see on the fucking internet. You know, like, just imagine all that shit and just churn out genius. That's great.
Well, okay, and once again, I'm not trying to pick on like nerd theory. I'm not trying to pick on it, but let's just like let's look at that model for things objectively. Is what I do good for them?
Oh yeah.
I don't know, man. I actually don't know, because if you don't
you mean
know
it's not
anything,
because you're giving real info and then they're just
and then now
up.
now they can't go, they can't like Mike Zero it and talk about like Luke pulling down Star Destroyers, whatever. Obi-Wan, like if I put the stuff out there, now they're grounded in reality, and they can't say whatever is going to, you know, be the most exciting thing in the moment. Not, you know what I mean? And then so I do question it. I do wonder that sometimes, but
Mace Windu and Kenobi and all that shit.
But those guys, hats off to them. Like, they know how to do YouTube. I don't know how. I don't know how, because if I did, there would be. I mean, there's 46 of you guys with your heads on straight who want to like hear actual analysis and like the true shit going on, that don't want to live in a lie. But as we've seen with our country, most people want to be lied to. They would rather a fictitious strongman come in and tell them what they want to hear. So I know what it is, but I can't do it. I'm a fucking idiot. I like money, but I don't like it that much. Joel says, what if they make Heir to the Empire about a stormtrooper barber welcoming new recruits?
If Ricky Lake plays that barber, I'm on board.
Star Wars barbarism. Stupid. I love you, Joel. I love you. Whoa, the Morning Star. What if Jar Jar was Dooku's apprentice? 10 million views. Yeah, that is true. That is true. It would. What if Jar Jar, or you have to be like, I don't know. I don't want to get into it. I don't have any problems.
It's not just limited to Star Wars. I saw one this morning that had me going. It was Final Fantasy Tactics, possible update coming. You know, like there's rumors that an update might be coming, and it's 5 minutes of this. I'm like, these fucking guys, man. Like,
well, hold on. Featured image.
We might be getting an update sometime soon, and wouldn't that? And then it's all about why it would be great if you did. Like, genius, fucking way to make a living, buddy. Like, I just can't live with myself. Like, you know.
Yeah. It's definitely like a YouTube kind of problem. I think it's because it has such like a short memory. you know, like when it comes to like stuff. And then also, I think like most of YouTube isn't reading, so they just want people to read to them. So, and I'm once again not trying to pick on those guys. I'm not saying that those guys are like gatekeeping that. I think it's just like the nature of the beast.
Mhm.
But what it ends up meaning is that whoever told you anything that ever became true became the leaker to you, became the squirter to you. And in that instance. And so, yeah. But I do give Josh credit for at least saying my fucking name. You know what I mean? Like when he does it. But it's like but you know, Josh should, if that is what's going on, Josh should realize that if those people who hate me, they fucking hate you too. And you had Fandom Menace connections, they hate you too. I just had the balls enough to talk to the Fandom Menace and hold my ground. I wasn't agreeing with them. I wasn't joining them or anything like that. And those people want to kill me. They want to kill you too. But don't worry, they're all irrelevant. Robert St. Clair says, these guys are the worst, giant tools, talking NFTs and bullshit the majority of the time, but they're good at exploiting the masses, so they'll continue to grift. I don't know anything about that, but yeah. I mean, that's standard for YouTube.
Allegedly.
Nolan Ryan says, I saw a video from one of those guys that said, what if Anakin didn't take a seat and I spit my drink out?
Yeah,
like
that.
Remember that one pedophile who when he got caught by Chris Hansen just kept eating the pizza and asking Chris Hansen if he wanted some of the pizza? It was so fucking funny. It was so fucking funny. Star Wars Santa says, I want to hear how the big bad in every single Star Wars show is Darth Plagueis. Yeah.
Santa's clapping.
Right?
No, you know when he clapped back at somebody?
Oh, but what if he has I just did dog show.
You did.
I know.
Dog show. I miss dog show.
I know.
Good afternoon, everyone, says Soundwave. Jedi Chris. Zero is Zero is InfoWars. Theory is Fox, and Jason is TMZ. And hey, TMZ, say what you want about them. They're always right. They are fucking always right.
To be fair, though, there's no way Jason would have put up pics of Kobe Bryant and the helicopter shit. You have a fucking soul.
Yeah.
So.
Oh no. I had a nurse while Carrie Fisher was passing.
Oh.
I wasn't talking to the person, for the record. Like after about 2 seconds, I realized this was very gross, and they were like, "Yeah, she passed. We're just keeping her, like, you know, for family." And then I was like, oh, I had to go do a podcast, and like I had the knowledge, though. You know what I'm saying, though? Like I had it in my head,
Right.
and I'm like, you know, gonna respect that. You know, I'm not gonna go out there and her family hasn't, you know, talked about it or dealt with it and stuff like that. I wasn't gonna go put anything out there. So that was for them. But I'm there, and I'm just like, oh my god, like this is like, it was one of the only times I think I ever got information just given to me, and I was just like, yeah,
Especially unwanted information.
that's fucking gross. Yeah, I mean, a part of me wanted to know, like, you know, there was a part of me obviously who was like, I'm glad I know that, like that's where we're at. But so I remember, I think I just did like a tweet after, and I was just like, I think people, I don't remember what I said, but it was a equivalent of, I think people should brace for the worst here, you know. And like that was, I decided like that would be like the only thing I did, because I was getting like just message after message at that time because of it, you know. So I said InfoWars. Soundwave says he was like, I'm Chris Hansen, and he was like, no, you're not. And he kept eating the pizza. Oh man, I hope the pizza in prison was good, because T Green says, did anyone see the Kingdom Hearts 4 trailer? Do you think that is indoor? I saw the moment of that on Star Wars Santa show today, and I mean, that could be indoor, but is that an AT-AT foot? No, it's not. I don't think so. I mean, it would be a baby AT-AT, like the size of a dog. You can see like a little stream. I'm also going to put it out there. When I think of indoor, I don't think of streams. You know, the little like
Water streams.
Yeah,
They have whole oceans. What are you talking about? Rise of Skywalker.
That,
Whole oceans, Jason.
no,
I thought that was
that's-
a moon. I thought it was
No,
a moon of Endor.
No, that's Wicket sitting in the fucking trees. That's Endor.
it's. I think Lego Star Wars has Kef Beer
Might
being a
catch that.
different place than Endor, than the moon of Endor. I don't know,
Yeah.
man.
What they're the
It's-
authority, but what is the canon? We don't know what the canon is anymore, do we?
I'm
Elizabeth's
gonna
side of
say
this.
that the galaxy map in there is based off of canon at least. You know what I'm saying? Like they
Thanks,
didn't just
JJ.
make, yeah.
Fucking up the tree planet. I add an ocean and a field. Like that's genius.
Yeah, no,
Trees over there.
I think it's just like in the solar system of Endor. If anybody in the chat knows the actual answer, I burnt myself out trying to figure this stupidity out. And as I was talking to my sources at the time, they were just like, they don't fucking know. They haven't figured it out.
Oh my God.
We're all like, what the fuck? So, and that's when I was like, fuck this, at that point. And so,
Yeah, we're making a great living doing it, though, aren't we?
You're like, kiss my grits. Bye.
JJ's just like, I could take 3 tours on the Galactic Starship with what they're paying me.
Soundwave, I will say, I never played Kingdom Hearts. And I don't know a lot about it, but I do think it would be fairly absurd to imagine a new Kingdom Hearts happening and there not being Star Wars stuff in it. I think that would be insane. Personally,
It might be the only reason why you see it look a little more realistic now in the trailer, because it's just easier to make a lot of these things blend more,
God,
So,
what was Star Wars Infinity though? Like with how they kind of like that style that they did the Star Wars stuff, and I thought looked great.
look, it was the best thing that Disney itself has produced in terms of a toy line and all that stuff in a long time. So
Yeah,
but no, that's what. But hey, Disney with games and toys, they just throw it out the door. They don't care. Like, we shouldn't be doing this. Someone else should be doing this. Like,
what happened
weird.
was when another one came onto the scene, they were able to do the math, and the math was that the shelf space at Target, Walmart, and all that kind of stuff, there was just no reality where with the other competitors and with the amount of shelf space that they were given, that it would be a profitable endeavor that could grow. And so like literally just retail reality murdered that. It was doing fine. It was doing well. It just could not Infinity could not keep up. And I thought my kids fucking loved it. Like it was a shame they didn't find a creative solution to keep it alive, because they would have made
Aren't we?
more
Don't
money
we love
than
it
they
when
got.
companies just consolidate and merge so much that you only have 3 fucking retailers, and then the company that's known for consolidating and merging can no longer do business because of that? Like,
Yeah.
it's just the best. It's the
Yeah.
best.
Endgame capitalism is a good time, right? Soundwave 815 says ATSD foot. Yeah. I still think it's too small. I mean, I hope I'm wrong for you. It doesn't really matter to me if it is or it isn't personally, but I hope it's right for you. But when I was looking at the size of the rocks in that stream, those look, I don't have the picture with me, but it looks tiny. It looks tiny. So Soundwave says they had concept art from an old PSP game that was going to connect to Clone Wars, if I remember right. I miss my old PSP. All the bootleg games you had on it. That's why.
Although, had they kept the animated look, it would have been cool to see the Star Wars content being that Clone Wars style.
yeah,
Just saying.
or the
I'm not a
or
fan
the
of the
Infinity
realism
style,
of
or the
that
Infinity
trailer.
style being transferred over and continued in would have been a cool idea for Kingdom Hearts. Maybe.
Yeah, I don't like
know.
the realism stuff. I'm not a fan of it.
Yeah,
I don't like it.
Of
So,
which
yeah.
one though?
The Kingdom Hearts 4 trailer.
Okay.
The realistic style of, I don't really give a shit for that. That versus 13 look is not my jam, bro. I don't
Yeah.
care.
Yeah, I'm with you. But Soundwave says it's been on the verge of happening for a long time. Yeah, I don't see why they would not include Star Wars in that. That's okay. So Robert Sinclair says Kef Beer is an ocean moon of Endor. Endor has 9 moons apparently.
Yeah.
So it's just
Except
another.
it's wicked on that planet.
Well, I guess when they show the other planet, that's actually Endor. It's not Kef Beer.
It just
They're just
jump
they're
to
just
another
being
planet
dumb.
without telling.
Yeah.
The stupidest thing I've
Yeah.
ever heard.
Well,
They just it's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Here.
so Jedi Chris says, I really hope they add Rogue One, Mando solo levels, and Lego Star Wars. Also, online co-op would be so dope.
Wait,
Well, see-
what is Wicket looking at on that other planet then? Like a Eope shit in the woods or something? Like what is he look? They're supposed to be looking at the rebels, like or the Death Star. I don't know what they're supposed to be looking at them. Like if they're on another fucking planet, like if they're on the other moon of Endor, and then we just magically jump to this one, what were they looking at?
I'm gonna watch that today.
Yeah. What
I'm really confused.
it would have been rad if you had like if you like went inside one of those ships and then there were Ewoks in those ships and they were like being crazy, you know? That would have been a fun way to do it. But yeah, so I gotta say, Jedi Chris, I would love that too, because I bought that expansion pack for the kids, which really I like now. I gotta tell you guys about Lego Star Wars here. So Lego Star Wars. My kid's like, want it. Been waiting 2 years, so we get it. We played through all 9 episodes. We finished it yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
He's out. Finished it in the morning yesterday morning. He's done. He did it. Thanks, Dad. I had a great time. Appreciated the game. He's gone.
That's it.
And
Does
gonna
he
play
know
again,
it's an
or-
open world game, or does he
No,
just
no,
think you just
then
run
that's-
through it? Like,
no, and that's and then I have now spent 48 hours playing the open world game by myself.
Nice.
Yeah.
these content look consumers these days they really do not understand like savoring the product, right? Like they just blast or got it, like they're basically like Johnny Five, right? I mean, throw it input.
Input.
That was Tolstoy, Johnny Five. Like,
Yeah.
you know, just write another one by fucking Monday.
So he's never gonna play it again.
I wouldn't say that. I mean, but you know, he did all 9. He was back to, you know, VR. And me and my daughter actually we're playing the quest, doing all the quests together, and she's having a good time with it.
Uh-huh.
So it's actually kind of good because he kind of hogged the 9 episodes and really wanted to play it with me. So she kind of like got a little bit sidelined, and I was having to play catch up with her,
Uh-huh.
you know, on the side, which means I'm playing way too much Lego Star Wars, but now I'm all hooked on it, and but it is good though, and it is fun, and all of the extra stuff around it is a good time, and I'm liking it and enjoying it a lot. That said, Jedi Chris says, I really hope they add Rogue One, Mando solo levels in Lego Star Wars. Also, online co-op would be so dope. I believe Rogue One, Mando, and solo levels would be outside of the purview of the Skywalker saga itself. So it would be cool if they just did it because it's expansions, but it is a bit outside of the charter there. So I almost think if they were to do that, they would probably just do it as a different release of some kind, to be honest with you. That's where I think they would go. I would not be surprised if Mando episodes could be turned into a game. And now that there's 3 seasons worth of content, I wouldn't be surprised if the next game that we see in that series is Mando. Like, remember once enough Clone Wars seasons were done, they made a Clone Wars Lego Star Wars. I wouldn't be surprised if that kind of thing happened personally. But
I'd be
yeah.
interested in playing a Mando game, not necessarily Legos, but like, you know,
I mean, there was one in the works, right? 1313. That was a Mando game.
Yeah, was the Boba game, and yeah, but I'm with you, Max. Like, actually, as I am playing this game,
mm-hmm.
it's kind of funny. Like I'm like doing missions last night, right? I'm on like Maz Eisley, and I'm IG-88 is hunting Malakili, so I'm doing all these quests to find Malakili. I find him after the Rancor. He's gone. He's opened up a restaurant in Maz Eisley. And but IG-88 doesn't know that the bounty's done because Malakili ran. It's over. He doesn't know that job is dead, and he puts it together. You help IG-88 figure out he's not going to get paid. So then Malakili is able to like open this restaurant. Really stupid story, but fun. And like, no, it's good. It's good for like what it is. And it's just like, it's not that hard to do basic little story. Like why does this have to be with Lego brick people?
Mm-hmm.
Why can't you just fucking make us? Why can't you? And like so many elements of it, like that are fun, is basically just taking Jedi power battles and making that into a game. Like you fucked it up back when I was fucking 20 years old. Why can't you try to not fuck it up again? Like why can't we just have Star Wars games that are like that? Like it's so weird. Like a game like this has to be Lego. And but I know there's supposed to be an open world game coming, so I'm probably bitching for no reason. But
like 8 years time.
Yeah. But it's like it's just really weird how they don't like money sometimes, or that they don't know how to make money. And I would even say that it like in some like as I'm playing this game right now, it is sort of absurd, like in a weird way. Like I almost think that they should have went. Maybe that model was broken, but remember, what was it called? Telltale. The game like Back to the Future would come out, and like you would buy the game, but then the episodes would like release, and you would like play it like episodically.
There's a whole
does not work?
Scheme.
Okay,
why that doesn't work? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, if you
does now, I told you like yeah, you could have a super Star Wars game that then you buy content. The only way that works is if it's a games as a service. There is no middle ground. The closest thing to a middle ground is the gacha game format on mobile, and this is just a financial like algorithm for amount of effort, time spent, QA, all this other stuff. Those Telltale games were horrendously broke, glitchy. It just doesn't work the way you think it does. You know? Like,
no, I bought them and played them. I know exactly how it worked. I don't know how it worked for them. I didn't know they went.
If there was a Lego Star Wars, like online game that was pushing out, like Final Fantasy 14, but for Lego Star Wars MMO, right? Kind of like game, then there'd be one thing, but then now you're an MMO, you're not a single player or co-op game. This is a very difficult problem to solve because the market, unfortunately, is split up amongst like 3 AAA studios where most consumers demand AAA content. That AA content doesn't work in a lot of markets. That's been pushed down to mobile, like Switch being some kind of like, has that Hunter's game? Did that come out? Did that come and go?
No,
like
it's still in beta.
No,
still in beta.
Still in beta. So by the time that comes out, there's maybe a new Switch. I just do not understand. It's very complicated. It shouldn't be.
Where I was going with this, Rob, is that they charged me $64.99, I want to say, plus tax for that game, and then I bought it, and had they allowed there to be, as he says, as Jedi Chris says, online co-op, they would have sold 3 to 4 copies to me because I would have had one to play with my kids when they're at their mom's, or mom would probably had a copy to play with them when they're at my house. And also I don't like playing split screen. It fucking sucks.
Yeah.
And I would have literally went out and dropped another right then. So they charged me $64 for that game. And they could have sold it to me 3 or 4 copies. Instead, they sold me 1 copy. And on top of that, the amount of content is well beyond that of one game. They really should have sold the game as 9 episodes, but the open world stuff should have been another expansion. They should have made more money. They're dumb.
The reason for that is that company is very much like Telltale in that they're using old ass tech, they've pieced features on. But when people are like, look, it's got specular, it's got these lighting, I'm like, it's not that big a graphical leap. It's not doing anything. Like when you watch what was that game, that Triangle Strategy or whatever that came out recently on the Switch that has strong depth of field, Unreal, like it's not doing that kind of lens effects and stuff. Okay. It's essentially a remastered with some, version of what would be on a PS4, better frame rate. We could put more stuff on because of the pure horsepower of the system, but it's not technologically doing anything special. And I imagine that it's just, their pipeline is based on old ass shit, and co-op online open world game is probably just not something they can do without a complete back to formula, approach. Yeah.
Rashad Turner asks, will there be an announcement for a Mandalorian movie at Celebration since the whole panel will be there? If they were smart, if they liked money,
it would be cool.
It should be the first movie they put in theaters. Yeah.
I do feel like it, to some extent, Star Wars was allowed to be given a break and to develop all these TV projects, as an investment in Disney Plus. But at what point does that end? How far does that, if that's what they are in fact doing, when does that end? When does it become okay? We're going to keep making Disney Plus shows, but when does taking one for the team for Disney Plus start to, because there will come a point when it's all about financials, and Star Wars will need to prove that it brings in X amount of dollars. And I guess only through, you can only do that right now through merchandise, because you can't really quantify. I guess you can quantify how many people watch the Star Wars show and how much of the percentage of that is Disney Plus time used,
Right.
and then maybe quantify, given that a number value. But even that wouldn't really be true, because I only watch your Marvel shows because I'm already paying for Disney Plus for the Star Wars stuff. Like that's from my $8 a month. It looks like all these other shows are a draw, but they're really just like, okay, it's there.
Yeah.
But I like the Marvel shows, but I definitely wouldn't pay for them. I pay for the Star Wars, access to the Star Wars streaming content, But if they're smart, dude, Rashad, they would definitely announce a Mando movie is coming after season 3.
That would be so awesome if they did. If they announced that.
Because 3 seasons in a movie sounds good. 4 seasons in a movie sounds like you guys maybe are just milking this and getting a little tired here.
Yeah.
And if what I've reported about the end of the season is accurate, which I believe it to be, then we're gonna have, okay, now Mandalore is consolidated. The clans are united. Now what? Conquest. War. That's all you got. Nobody wants to see him sitting on the throne fucking eating nachos while baby Grogu gets his first pube. That's boring.
It's what King Conan, Jason.
Yeah. Right? Yeah.
He's got the throne. Now he just rules with peace.
Yeah.
It rhymes just like we did last year.
I mean, I will say though, it will be kind of cool. It would be kind of cool if eventually though you have like all these like Mandalorian kingdoms sort of set up. Like Boba's ruling Tatooine. Fucking Mandalore actually is consolidated with the actual dude, and there's like other things like that going on around the galaxy.
Providing vision, Jason. Stop.
Yeah.
Just don't do it. You're just gonna let yourself down.
Well,
because you're gonna be disappointed.
Like what I would do with it is I would have it where eventually this does come into conflict with the new Republic, and then they go to war, and then why is the new Republic never as powerful as it could have been? Got the Mandalorian War, like stuff like that would be, and
seems like prime real estate for episodes 7 through 9, Jason. A Mando War, like kind of would have been interesting to see.
Yeah. But I almost have this like feeling that Jedi are one facet of Star Wars and that Mandos are another. And maybe combining them is just straight up overkill. Maybe, but if you could do one or the other, you're kind of like in a good place because of
it was supposed to be the basis for the Clone Wars, that the Mandos hunted the Jedi. That this was the two, like, you got wizards versus fucking knights or something, or whatever you want, barbarians or something like these. One could hunt the other, like, and then when I saw the Beskar armor, stopping fucking lightsabers, then that. Bro, it makes total sense, like, but we didn't get none of that shit. They made a Mando the basis for a bunch of stormtroopers. Ain't no one fucking asked for that. Like but here we are, So
that was always the story, actually. Believe it or not, it was. It's in the Star Wars poster book from 77. I know.
I get it.
Yeah. We had our assumptions in the 90s about what it was supposed to be, and the one
learn my lesson.
The one person from Lucasfilm though told me they went out to dinner with George Lucas one time, and he told them the idea that he originally had. This is during Revenge of the Sith. He's all, I was going to have them go and thaw out. There was going to be a carbonite thing. Vader knew about it because there was a clone of him that was frozen, and that he was keeping, and he was going to try to use that to reconstruct himself, but it never worked, and he could never get it done. Luke and friends were going to thaw out Anakin Skywalker's clone, who was going to be awakened and be like, what the fuck's going on? They're like, it's 20 years later. He's like, what? He wasn't going to know any of this stuff happened. And but he was the good man, not the bad man. The bad stuff hadn't happened yet, and he was going to bring. But when the Mandalorians see him, they're like, it's him. And the Mandalorians we're gonna team up with the rebels and overthrow the Empire. That was going to be how the story was going to go.
That sounds good.
And then I heard this like 2003, 2004, right as principal photography Revenge of the Sith was like wrapping. Then what do you end up with? Clone Wars, and you have all of these things happen in the Clone Wars in some way, but in their own weird little micro way. Lucas used all of those ideas. But anyways, but what I'm going to say is that I do.
If I'm here, then why is my ghost young? What the fuck?
I think what we're going to end up with is the Skywalker saga. I think we're going to end up with the Mandalorian saga in the big picture.
It's okay.
3 million.
Well, I would love that.
No, me too. And so I wouldn't be surprised if we have sort of like Mandalorian events happening in between the stories of the Skywalker saga. They don't really need to acknowledge each other necessarily, but you do end up with some pretty big. How does this fucking play out? Because if you have the Mandalorians rising to power during a new Republic, are they just all about it now? We're good, so we're like with it. But what about when you get to episode 7 territory or episode 9 territory, episode 7, 8, 9, and the First Order has conquered the whole universe, and everybody is playing what we just get Mando and his old ship showing up to the end battle. Like that's it. Like that's where that doesn't make sense. So stuff has to happen.
There's a lot of potential. I mean, that's for sure.
Yeah, I think so too. And they have a lot of years to figure it all out.
Yeah,
Excuse me.
We definitely do want a Mando movie.
Want to hear my hot take, Will Morgan? Will says, "Let's talk about the great video game adaptations like E.T. the Extraterrestrial. E.T. and Top Gun are both good games if you read the fucking instruction manual. That's all you have to do. Read the fucking manual. You'll land the fucking F-14 Tomcat every time. I never had a problem with it because I read the fucking manual. And as a kid, my older buddy who actually had the ET game, he read it. We played the ET game and it was okay. It wasn't bad. But I do. But
Will Morgan is completely forgetting about how great Batman was.
Batman was fun.
I
even think Ninja
best
Turtles
soundtrack
was
on
fun,
the NES.
But yeah. But remember Moonraker though, or not Moonraker, Moonwalker from fucking Moonwalker for Genesis, and he had to like grind on kids and shit. That was weird.
Yeah, it's not good.
Is that the Michael Jackson
Not a
one?
good look.
Yeah,
it's not good.
it did not age well for the Jackson brand.
Doesn't help the defense. He's done lips. Doesn't help.
Star Wars says, "I become Rob's favorite character." Laugh out loud.
I'm shocked. Santa would think he is the best character.
You are, yeah. If you weren't Santa, I'd be like, "Hey, that's not right, Rob." But you are Santa. Jedi Chris, when it says Luke will definitely be in Ahsoka, not in her, but like in the show. Why not?
God, thanks for clarifying that, because the deep fakes. Whew.
Wouldn't it be rad though? I mean, wouldn't it be rad if Luke and Ahsoka had a thing for a time? I mean, people love. I mean,
People love sex.
I would have fucked your dad, but I'm getting the son. So,
no, she's like 12. She's like 12, and she's with the father. The father ain't gonna.
Yeah, she had a crush, but it wasn't possible because obviously, but she gets the son, so it all works out.
I mean, Luke. I honestly think Luke needs an older woman to teach him how to fuck, because that guy does not know how to fuck. For sure.
This checks out with my I originally wrote it that way, Jason. It's in yellow letter notebook. It says Luke gets milfed.
I mean, okay. You guys don't have to share if you don't want to. But don't you feel like
joke. I told that joke to the dairy union in the early 90s, but they thought I said got milk, and it got way out of hand after that. But I mean, but actually got milf.
You do have that, Lucas. You do have that like experience where you're like, oh, with the first time, you're 20 and she's 25, and you go in there thinking it's high school sex, and it's not, and you get taught a lesson. And then after that, that's when you get good at it. That's when you learn. That's when you grow and you step up your game. Luke Skywalker, That guy does not fuck. He doesn't know how. He has no idea. He's been pouring blue milk down his fucking bare chest, looking in the mirror. It's been doing weird stuff like that his whole life. I mean, old
He's
Luke.
got 80s hair and he's got 80s bush.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. Without a doubt.
Too far there, right?
Yeah. And that's not a thing on Mark Hamill, because Mark Hamill was going out with showgirls and shit in the 80s. I remember that shit. It was fucking cool as hell. He married one.
I remember he was there was, I think, a picture or maybe a video where he was doing Empire Strikes Back. They were practicing the lightsaber swords or whatever. The lightsaber shit, whatever.
Sword.
Yeah, and
Sword.
And he had a big sword in those tight jeans.
Oh, did he?
Yes.
Good job, Luke.
It was
Skywalker.
very noticeable.
Yeah. So you're saying you've seen Luke Wiener?
It looked big.
Yeah.
With the jeans.
Well, that's how they roll in Modesto.
And I think there were bell bottoms too. But you remember how all those pants were.
So what you're saying is Mark Hamill's a Mary Sue for George Lucas. He's like, I want him to have a real big one. I want him to be a little guy like me, but with a real big one.
Yeah.
Jedi Chris says, yeah. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Will said, bro, I've landed everything on that aircraft carrier. Thank you. Yeah. You know what? You can be my wingman in any time. By the way, I watched the Top Gun trailer again. And I gotta say, it looks like it could be fun, but it's just that one visual effect shot of the ship going under the bridge. It doesn't look good. Everything else looks rad. Everything else looks fun and cool. That one shot, I just don't like that one shot. So if a lot of it's like that shot, I'm probably gonna be like, whatever. And then the volleyball stuff. What are you guys doing?
That's not for us. That's for them, Jason. that's for the girl. That's for the fans of the. It's not for us. It's for other people.
It should have been something new. I mean, they should have been playing fucking Call of Duty or something.
It's San Diego. They don't do anything new. They do the same shit every fucking.
Okay.
I'm from San. It's what they do. They just do the same shit.
Hey, if they
supposed to do go-karts, that would have been great.
If they sing "You Take My Breath Away," I'm walking out of the fucking theater. I'm fucking walking out. No. Sorry, Love and Feeling. If they sing Love and Feeling,
you know who did that for real? John Roca. He told the story once. He said he literally did that for a girl, and she fucking walked out and shaved, and he just learned a harsh lesson that day.
Oh man!
Do not reenact scenes from movies in real life and expect movie results. Like
do you think like Kelly McGillis just ever like went into a bar? Do you think that became like part of her reality? I think dudes were trying to pick up on her doing that shit.
Oh, in the 80s? Yeah.
Poor Kelly McGillis. She had a rough life. Anyways, Jedi Chris says, yeah, Luke had a fucked up life, lived at a desert farm, went straight to war with his dad, died in his arms, no fucking at all, and kissed his sister. You know, I do believe
those are the beats. I wrote them down.
He definitely fucked his sister in between Empire and Jedi.
Split her the mind's eye.
I mean, he was making out. He got the French kiss during Han Solo being there. Han was gone, and you know what they say: while the cat's away, the mice will play. So,
Jedi I wanted to call him Luke Skyfucker, but they wouldn't let me.
Kylo Ren's like, I know you're my dad. I know you're really my dad. Jedi Cowboy says Prime Luke had to pound something. Maybe he had a fleshlight. Yeah, you ever? Oh, I gotta find it because we talk about it all the time. But let's see if I can find the meme. I think I might have found it, you guys. Yeah, I found it. Hold on, you guys. I'm sorry, but I feel like you guys made me do this. And let me share the old.
Myself.
Yeah, you know, I'm ultimately responsible. It's my fault, but best Star Wars meme of all time I've ever seen in my life, whole entire life.
Oh my gosh.
That's so horrible, dude.
Mm.
You can't unsee that.
No, you can't. Yeah,
Horrible, dude.
it's great because they actually have those items. They actually have a green button, and they actually have the Yaddle pick to get signed. I don't. Who's supposed to sign that? I don't even know.
It's the Yaddle look that sells it. It's about right.
Actually, I don't.
Maybe
know.
Yaddle got a Prius. Like I don't. Yeah.
If that's what it takes, but yeah. So, anyways, that happened. You're welcome.
Disturbing.
Baymax says, "Do not search for Ahsoka training Luke on DeviantArt. Repeat: do not search for Ahsoka training Luke on DeviantArt.com."
Woo,
Yeah, I know. I mean, it would. I mean, there's like two ways of taking it that work for me. Either Luke is made a man for real, but by Ahsoka, or Ahsoka and Sabine are scissoring, or maybe both. I don't care, but I mean, it's all possible. Think according to DeviantArt. No, okay. Shogun says, "Does anybody see Shadows of Macross Plus in the new Top Gun?"
So much Macross, dude. I can't follow all of it, man.
There's too much.
17,000 series. It's too much. I really like the original like trade paperback that actually was released in the 80s, because then it made a lot of, it was really cool galactic sci-fi shit, like pretty good. You know, and the animes are hit and miss. Some of the animation's great, some of it isn't. There was one in the late 90s. It was more like dude had like a power bracelet or something and the Macross was loosely tied. That actually was more enjoyable for me than a lot of the actual Macross. Yeah, cool visuals, cool idea, just they never got a story. Too much jazz and karaoke, man. Like I can't follow the fucking storyline for those, you know. It's all over the place.
Whenever like I hang out with an ex-girlfriend and we do the deed, that's when I pull out my power bracelet. I like to make it seem like it was better than it was. Baymax says Luke would need to have an agile joystick to bullseye womp rats back home. He's a little serial killer too. I mean, killing defenseless animals is usually the sign of a serial killer. Just gonna throw that out there.
It's not much harder than ripping little wings out of flies back home. I do it all the time. Shh, Luke, don't tell
Luke,
him.
Don't. I mean, Ryan Johnson filmed the scene where if you when the hut gets blown apart, there's like a chest in there, and in it you actually see the Thaurian siren's titties with the blue milk flying out. He was cutting those off the titties. Yeah, he's
It's like I used to blow up lizard guys who were sleeping in the sand all the time. Put firecrackers up their butt, blow them up in the sand.
Yeah, and he calls them sand people, which is the most racist thing you can say in Star Wars.
Yeah.
The sand people.
Drink all their little milk too.
Yoda and Yaddle hooked up. Any news on Grogu parents, or will we see his homeworld? I don't know, man. Nothing new there, Jedi Chris. Nothing new. Wait, that's not you, right? That's not you, Chris. You're not trying to. Not, like me in Vesper Bulletin, right? Where I pretend to be.
No.
Okay.
We cut back to Mace Windu. Hits the ground. He's near death, and then Yaddle picks him up and then takes him, and then just pulls a misery on him and just fucks him for 30 years until she has a kid. What? That's how Grogu was made. Yeah, like misery. Yeah. That's what happened.
Will Morgan says Meta Egg theory. Kylo's really Luke's. Did Meta Egg do that? Because if they did, hats off Meta Egg. But yeah, I played a lot of Yaddle this weekend, and that's not a euphemism for a fleshlight in Lego Star Wars. I had a good time.
The fact that you have to preface that is your own fault, Jason.
Yeah, I did that to myself.
Meg played Yaddle too.
Yeah, my Yaddle keeps locking up on Coruscant though. There's a bug on Xbox One, and at least for me, and it locks up a lot. So it's really weird. But
the problem with those releasing a game on 9 platforms simultaneously, man. It's just
Yeah.
so
Well,
many weird bugs.
I mean, I'm sure even if that wasn't the case, I think releasing like almost 400 characters or something on one thing
But
is
could
probably.
you imagine? But could you imagine? No, back in 1996, that like Crash Bandicoot had to be released on Super Nintendo and NES. Like this would be fucking really weird, all simultaneously. Like it's so odd.
For sure.
You know, the fact that you're still playing new releases on an Xbox One is just, it's tough from a development standpoint. You know.
Yeah. Is Sabine the same age as Din? No, he's older. He'd be older, right? She's the same age as Ezra.
No,
Ezra's born
she's older than Ezra
by a year.
a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, but they were in like the first couple of episodes they played a will they or won't they, and then forgot about it.
Yeah.
You know, after that, Ezra just became like, "What are you doing, bud? You know, what are you doing with your life, you fucking idiot?" Ezra just needs to get this shit kicked out of him. Wouldn't it just be cool if Ezra like shows up to Luke Skywalker's like Jedi training school and Luke just beats the shit out of him and then like sends him away and says, "Get the fuck out of here, you fucking idiot."
I'd watch that.
Yeah, you fucking Aladdin looking loser. Get the fuck out of here. Bring me Yasmin. Fuck Aladdin. Fuck your mom's mouth. Like it's like
Emperor's New Groove was a much better movie than Aladdin. It's not even close.
I don't know. I don't know about that, but
It's true.
I watched I watched some Rebels yesterday.
Yeah. Like I said, if I was reading a novel of the stories in there, it's all really good storytelling. But it's just a whoa, I'm slipping on stuff.
And actually, yeah, he did that, and I thought of you.
Yeah, or there's like I said, there's like those moments where like Kanan's like, "And kid, I want you with me," and he's like, and then you're like, you get it, you feel it, it works, and then he has to go, "And I'm with you," like, and it's like, oh, like every fucking time they always write one too many lines about how they're all a family.
I mean, it doesn't bother me, but
it bothers me.
I mean, I recognize it. Yeah,
it
doesn't bother me, but it makes me laugh because I know it
it's
pisses
like when
you off.
it's like when Han Solo's like, when Han says a line to Luke, like he cares about him. Like in those lines, it's like a like that's to you owe me.
Yeah.
But it's like there's like an affection to it, and you get it. If it was Rebels, that's to you owe me. And he'd be like, and that's one you're gonna owe me because I want you to be my dad. We're best friends and a family. Like it implies all that. So yeah, it's a pet peeve of mine, and I can't see past it. But it does get better later on. But when he puts on the Mando pack, he's supposed to be a Jedi, and he's like, "Whoa!"
That's the one that I watched.
Stupidest fucking moment, man.
That's the one that I watched.
He's supposed to be like becoming a man, like a warrior. Like, and when I say becoming a man, a warrior, it's like Luke Skywalker doesn't know how to fight, and Obi-Wan and Han Solo help him become a man. It's kind of like the concept behind the monomyth.
Mm-hmm.
But that one, I think he may have brain damage. Ezra Bridger.
Monomyth is what Luke got when he kissed his sister. Real depressed.
Star Wars monomyth.
Come on.
Yeah.
It's already 2:00, Jason. We got to wrap it up.
All right.
Gotta do it.
Luke's offspring with Ahsoka will further the Skywalker timeline. Oh no. Okay. Hey, I don't mind those guys. I'm not trying to get into a fight with them. You're wrong. Come on.
Yeah, Jason legitimately finds it entertaining.
I do. It's a little kind of entertaining when But anyways, we'll be back tomorrow. And tonight I want you guys all to do your thrust. Everybody gonna do their thrust?
For our next exercise, I would like you to enter me for 30 thrusts. Let's do that 10 times. And continue until I say we're done.
If you have a picture of Yaddle, it will help with this exercise. A fleshlight or a dildo is required. Good luck. That's all we could say is good luck. And we'll be back tomorrow to offend you. delight you, make you bored, make you angry, whatever.
You know, Jason, MILF is an acronym for a minch. I'd like to.
A minch I'd like to fuck.
Yeah, couldn't finish. It's too funny.
Minch, please.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
All right.
So
All right.
stupid.
Here we
It's
go.
the end of the show.
Come on, let's go. Hey!
It's the end of the show.
Come on, let's go. Hey!
It's the end of the show.
Come on, let's go. Hey!
You know you should go.
Come on, let's go.
It's not about spaceships.